the other morning at breakfast, and you can just imagine, you know, here I'm trying to shovel down the food, I get a bottle of water, Russ is like, Jason, don't drink that water out of that bottle. I go over to get something, he's got, no, that's got aspartame in it. Then these two just start talking the language, you know, about chemicals and molecules and all of this stuff. And I thought, this is perfect. This is exactly what we need. We now have a corporate executive on our side that can do the research and development that we need to work and help facilitate Russ as the formulator in bringing products to market. So we're very excited. Briefly, why don't you tell us just a little bit about why Zija? Why did you choose Zija?
Well, as a medical scientist, our goal is to bring better health to people. And briefly, just a couple of days of me diving into the literature that's been published on Moringa, I realized there is uncapped potential that Moringa offers. And as a scientist, this intrigued me, and I wanted to spend the next part of my career untapping that potential.
Okay, fantastic. We've got something up here on the board for you to look at. Briefly tell us just about, and this goes along with what Mr. Brailsford talked about last night, the latest publication in National Geographic.
Yeah, this is what really inspired me. Well, I guess we can learn two things from this. Scientists were not as smart as you think we are. It took us thousands of years of what everybody else knew before we started to look into Moringa. But what we see here is that each day, each week, new publications are coming out on Moringa. And this just inspired me that we are learning new things, new benefits that this can give us.
Okay, that's fantastic. Tell us about the lab rat.
The lab rat. We made sure he was modest. But what we see here is that in some of these studies, we are looking at just the benefits of these. It goes, the list is long. Rush, you want to take some of these here?
Russ, tell us your favorite.
You know, right now, 1/3 of America has a blood glucose challenge. 7 out of 10 have a weight challenge. What we're addressing with nutrition fixes a huge problem.
Okay, fantastic. I want to talk just a little bit about the compounds that are found in Moringa oleifera tree.
Yeah.
Tell us your favorite.
My favorite is, I'm a huge fan of Moringa. It's this compound that is just shown to completely suppress appetite, making us more in tune with how our body is really hungry, instead of just overfeeding ourselves, as Russ has clearly demonstrated. It helps us get in tune with our body.
Russ, how about you?
Quercetin.
Okay, tell us a little bit.
Cardiovascular issues all over the place. You know, we're smoking 80% less tobacco in America, but we have more cardiovascular disease. Quercetin addresses that.
Okay. This next slide is going to kind of break down the compounds and what part of the tree they come from. Josh, talk a little bit about the compounds and why using the whole tree and not just the leaf.
Exactly, and I think this is something that Zija has really captivated and done a good job. These compounds aren't just all in the leaf. There are certain compounds in the leaf and there's other compounds in the fruit. And this is where Russ just did an amazing job in his formulation. He was able to take, in essence, the whole tree and give us all of these compounds through his proprietary formula.
Okay? Talk about you've got up here on this slide kryptonite. What is kryptonite?
Kryptonite.
And how does kryptonite tie in with the Moringa tree?
So the Moringa tree, we all love it. However, there are some things that it's susceptible to. And I call these the Moringa's kryptonite. And these compounds, they're not invincible. Light, temperature, time, all these things degrade these compounds. And so the key is by the time it gets from the tree to your mouth, how much is left? And how do we address that kryptonite?
Absorbability.
Exactly.
Okay. Lois at the office has mentioned that several times.
Yeah.
Lois is Lois.
Lois is a reporter, works in the public relations
PR.
department. Zija.
Haven't met her.
Loves the smart mix, Russ.
Really?
Yes. She likes the tea also. Okay. All right, so tell us just a little bit more about kryptonite here and Zija, Moringa. Why is it important to have more Moringa in your Moringa diet.
Exactly. So even though these compounds are largely exclusive to the Moringa tree, that doesn't necessarily mean they're overabundant. We need to make sure we consume the right amount, an ample amount of Moringa, to make sure we are getting the essential compounds in their proper dosage. And so one of these things is kryptonite is we need to make sure we have enough of the Moringa.
Russ, when you formulated the original formula, was it formulated for someone my size or Josh's size? Or your size?
Or Mike Sim's size.
What a surprise.
So what are you telling me with that statement?
You need more.
Okay, more is better.
Yes.
More Moringa.
Your mileage may vary.
Okay. More Moringa. Fantastic. I notice that when I eat a good meal and then I have a Smart Mix in the morning and maybe another Smart Mix in the afternoon, sometimes I like to double up. Is that okay?
Sure it is.
All right. So
Yeah.
double the Moringa, at least double the Moringa is even better.
Way better.
Okay. Why?
More absorbability, more nutrient value. The problem is the food chain. We went from 1,500 calories in the 60s to 3,200 calories a day now. We receive, depending on the category, up to 85% less absorbable nutrients and more than double the calories.
But the food chain itself, weight distribution didn't go up, did it?
No.
So we don't have a weight problem because of this, or do we?
We have a weight problem because we're overeating.
Okay.
And we're eating the wrong things.
Okay, fantastic. Which leads to our next slide, which is Smart Mix. Tell us just a little bit about Smart Mix and why. Hold on, someone's calling me.
Wait, right now?
Might be Lois.
Okay, I'm new to the company here, Jason, but I don't think this is proper.
Can you hold that for me? I'll be right back. I'll be right back.
All right, I've only been here a little while, and it seems whenever a problem arises, Jason's got a phone call. I don't understand this guy. But Russ, can you just tell us a little bit about Smart Mix? What has it done? What great things has it done?
Smart Mix has delivered more nutrients for less grams than anything that I've ever touched or ever seen in supplementation. Anywhere in the food chain, anywhere in functional products. What does Smart Mix do? It gives you back what your body requires. To give the body what it needs. It's the body that self-corrects.
But, okay, let's be honest. We've talked about the importance of having enough Moringa.
Right.
What are some downfalls of Smart Mix? There's got to be some weakness, right?
There's not enough.
Not enough what?
Not enough nutrients.
Not enough nutrients.
We need more bang for our buck.
So we need more Moringa, is that right?
More Moringa.
And how do we get more Moringa?
Well, you could reformulate.
Reformulate. What was that?
Why is Super Mix super?
Oh, well, that's easy. Look at here. We got this. Over twice as much Moringa in Super Mix and Smart Mix. Usually stuff that's good for you doesn't taste that great. But Russ, what have we done?
Great taste.
Great taste.
Hey, wait a minute. If we're talking about taste, let's bring someone up here and taste it.
Right. You want to bring somebody